11 Sports, and For the Fans welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
You are looking at downtown Fort Worth, Texas, as it's time to close the show on this week of Simulation Football League action. We keep it here in the great state where football runs deep, and we are live at the stockyards as the Sioux Falls Sparrows, flying high behind a punishing run game, travel south to meet the Fort Worth Toros. Hello, a very warm welcome. I'm Michael Trillo. Alongside me on stats is J.L. Browning, Nick LaSala, and the one and only Mighty RX. And in the booth with me tonight is Benji Matson. Benji, good evening.
Good evening, Michael. It's my pleasure to be with you tonight. Looking forward to a great game tonight. We've got the Sioux Falls Sparrows entering tonight on a roll. They lost the championship in Season 14, but they're out of the gates. They're exploding now the gates here in Season 15, sitting at the top of the rankings at 3-1 heading into this week. They are paced by Colin Hart in their 211 yards a game rushing attack. And on the other side of the ball, Fort Worth comes into tonight's game with a 1-3 record. Tough loss last week on the road. They are excited to be home tonight. My eye tonight's going to be on this matchup, this Colin Hart-led rushing attack and this Toros defense. This Toros defense is allowing only 83 yards rushing a game. Can they contain the Sioux Falls Sparrows on the ground, and can they get this ball back to their explosive young offense? Can't wait to see how this one unfolds tonight. Michael, looking forward to it.
It's the old adage of the unstoppable force against the immovable object. The Sparrows in all yellow will kick off tonight. The Toros at home in the all blue will be on offense first. The kicker for the Sparrows is Maxwell Falk. He's got the ball on the tee at the 30-yard line. The whistle blows and it's game on in Fort Worth, Texas. We keep it in Texas for the second straight game tonight, and up past the 20 up to the 21. That's where Fort Worth will begin the ball game. Here's the Toros offense led by quarterback Xander Gold. Their running back is Jason Williams, fullback Chris Komisak. Wide receivers Cade Stevens, Cameron Curtis, and Stephen Hacker, tight end Robert Garrett Jr., and on the offensive line is Bodacious Tough. From the 21-yard line, wearing the all-blue, going right to left in this first quarter, they'll have two wide receivers split out far to the right-hand side, and Gold under center. Gold, two-step drop short over the middle. That pass is intercepted off a deflection right from the outset. Alex Parker picks it off for the Sparrows.
Oh no, not the start you wanted to see for the Toros tonight. Pass into traffic by Xander Gold, and it just looks like the ball might have been tipped there in traffic, headed for the Cowboy, Robert Garrett. He couldn't bring it in, just off of his hands, ricocheted into Alex Parker's hands. Unfortunate start for the Toros, and now the Sioux Falls has the ball deep inside Toro territory. Perfect start to the game if you're a Sparrow.
Alex Parker, that's his first interception of the season. It comes via the deflection, and here is the dynamic Sioux Falls Sparrows offense led by Colin Hart, but he's not on the field. It's a five-wide formation. Tyree short over the middle. That pass is caught. And picking up 8 yards on first down is Benny Beasley. Here is the starting lineup for Sioux Falls on offense. Julian Tyree is the quarterback. Colin Hart, the running back. Jalen Wells is the fullback. A.J. Warren, Gunnar Lewis, and Al Dillapre Sr. are the wide receivers. Noe Terrazas is the tight end. Dusty Wilson is on the offensive line. Second down and 2 from the Fort Worth 23. Just over a minute gone by here in this game. First down run. There's the first touch of the game for Colin Hart, averaging over 200 yards a carry.
First touch of the game for Jalen Wells, actually. They put Colin Hart back on the field there. That split set back, but actually they had Colin run the decoy route there off to the left and handed it up the middle to Jalen Wells on that fullback keeper for that first play in the game. No yardage gained. Good job of the Toros on that defensive play.
First and 10 from the 20. Wells will fling it out on the near side. A check down and losing 2 yards. That time is Colin Hart. He gets his first touch of the game and goes backwards. That first carry for Jalen Wells took him over 200 yards rushing for the season.
Yeah, it's a great compliment, Jalen Wells is. Jalen Beanie Wells It's a good compliment in the backfield to Colin Hart. They make a great, formidable pair here for this rushing attack.
Now facing a 2nd down and 12, power I. Handoff, Colin Hart, and he can't get away. He'll lose another yard back to the 23-yard line. And the Toros defense is coming up large here on their first defensive series. E.K. Vinson, the veteran linebacker, makes the tackle.
Absolutely. Unfortunate to turn the ball over there on offense for the Toros, and the defense had to come on the field a bit sooner than expected, but they're making a great stand here, and we're going to talk a little bit as this game progresses about this matchup here, this Toros defense.
Now on the arm of the quarterback, and going down is Julian Tyree. A third straight negative play by the Toros defense, and they're going to force a field goal from Maxwell Falk. Great set of plays for the Toros.
Yeah, fantastic set of plays. Perfect start on the defensive side of the ball here. You had to come out on the field after that turnover. You weren't quite ready to go. Had to get warmed up real fast. That was a fantastic stand by the Toros on that series.
Here is Maxwell Falk. Ball is down. Kick is away, and it is good. So they turn the opening interception on the first play of the game into 3 points. And with 8:21 remaining in the first quarter, it's Sparrows 3, Toros nothing. On the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Benji, the Sparrows offense probably would have wanted more out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. The defense set them up with a really short field. They came on to the field all sorts of confidence coming into this game with that rushing attack, and they were kind of they were stonewalled by that Toros defense there on that first drive.
Falk kicks the ball away. Cameron Curtis deep to return for the Toros. He catches the ball at his own goal line. He'll bring it out up to the 20, looking for a lane, won't find it. He'll only get 1 yard further than he did on the previous play. And Fort Worth will start at their own 22-yard line. Here is the Sioux Falls Sparrows defense. Up front is James Kelly, Cam Frosby, and Jonathan Comp. The linebackers are Jose Fuentes, Alex Parker, and Nick Fargo. Corners John Barnhart and Terrell Davis. Safeties Jay Ringgold, AJ Levy, and Nathan Barnett. First down and 10 for the Toros from the 22-yard line. I formation, goal, 2-step drop. Pass to the far side. Here's Jason Williams. His first touch of the game is a 4-yard reception out to the 26.
Yeah, this matchup here is going to be one that we're going to touch on a lot tonight. I think Jason Williams is going to need to be involved not only in the running game, but here we see him in the passing game, and he's deadly for the Toros if they can get him not just running that ball, but also catching that ball out of the backfield. They're going to want to see lots of that here today, the Toros are.
Close to 200 yards receiving coming into the game for Williams. There's a short pass over the middle. That's the exact same pass that was picked off the first time, but it ends up being a first down for Fort Worth to the 33-yard line. There's the first catch of the game for Robert Garrett Jr.
Yeah, the Cowboy, the tight end, he's been a leader for this team on the offensive side of the ball this year. Steady, reliable. He's always there. He's been a favorite target for quarterback Xander Gold. He's going to need to have a big game today for the Toros.
3 receivers spread out wide to the left. Gold goes to the weak side on a toss to Williams. And Williams picks up 2 yards to the 36.
And the Toros are going up against a very stout Sioux Falls defense. They're leading the league in several categories. I mean, they're at the top of the league for a reason, the Sparrows are. They're just a difficult matchup. They're great on the offensive side of the ball with that running game, and they're good on this defensive side of the ball as well.
The Sparrows trying to get a win tonight to maintain their top of the table standings, or at least join the gaggle of teams at 4-1. Pass again to Williams, and he gets bumped out of bounds. He'll lose a yard back to the 35.
Yeah, he did everything he could to bring that ball in on that play. His momentum just carried him out of bounds. Unfortunate play for the Toros on that one. It sets up a 3rd and long. They've got some weapons on their side of the ball. They're not going to be afraid to throw the ball today. They just want to pick and choose their battles against this Sparrows defense. It'll be interesting to see what they come out with on this 3rd and 9.
Out for Stephen Hacker. He's spread out wide to the left. Gold back to pass. Pressure coming as he throws the ball deep down the field. Man out there. It's caught at the 30, at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Put it on the board. Touchdown, Fort Worth.
Explosive play right off the bat here by the Cowboy. Kind of redeems himself after that tipped ball that was intercepted by the Sparrows on that quick opening drive for Fort Worth. But here you see the reliable target, the tight end, runs a great corner route there with the man on his hip, just catches that ball, and with that space, he's gone. Pretty speedy for a big boy there. And that's a quick 6 points for Fort Worth. Great drive.
I'll tell you what broke that play wide open was John Barnhart came late on a corner blitz, which allowed Robert Garrett Jr. to slip behind the defense, and Jay Ringgold, the safety, did not have enough speed to keep up with Garrett Jr. in the flat. And here is Chaco Sicario, the kicker for Fort Worth, on to cement the 7-point lead, or the 4-point lead. Extra point all the way, and it is good. So with 6 minutes and 22 seconds to go, it's Fort Worth 7, Sioux Falls 3, and when we come back, the Sparrows will try to rally on offense. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports, and for the fans, don't go anywhere. From the Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas, the hometown Toros have a 7-3 lead against the visiting Sioux Falls Sparrows. 6:22 to go in the first quarter. I'm Michael Gerillo. Benji Matson is alongside me as we close out week 5. Oh, the fumble on the return of the kick. It's picked up at the 10-yard line, and they're only going to get out to the 14. And, all sorts of things going wrong for Sioux Falls here early.
That's an unfortunate turn of events there for them. They're looking forward to getting a nice return set up there, and just didn't keep his eyes on the ball and didn't field that cleanly. Maybe it got lost in the lights. We are under the bright lights here in Texas tonight.
That was A.J. Levy, the 10-season veteran that muffed the ball. And so from their own 14-yard line, the Sparrows will have to drive most of the length of the field. Colin Hart running right up the middle, stuffed at the line of scrimmage and dropped out, only a gain of 1.
Great play by E.K. Vinson there. This linebacking trio, Fort Worth, we're going to be talking about them a lot tonight. I have a couple rookies joining E.K. there in the backfield, but they're going to be called on to carry the weight here in this matchup, and they're going to be seeking and destroying. Wherever Colin Hart goes, they're going to be firing after him tonight.
9. Levy back to pass, or Tyree rather back to pass. First down. Nice catch on the sideline by A.J. Warren up to the 24.
A.J. Warren's enjoying a good year. We could talk about these receivers having good seasons so far for Sioux Falls. I'm sure if I were a receiver for Sioux Falls, I'd want the ball a bit more. But the simple matter of the fact is this year, Sioux Falls doesn't have to throw the ball. We're going to talk about that again as well tonight too. But they're enjoying so much success on the ground, they don't have to throw the ball so much these days.
Throw it again here. Tyree, middle, into traffic and incomplete. He was aiming for Noe Terrazas.
Coming into tonight's game, Julian Tyree is at the bottom of the charts in the league for many offensive categories, yards per game, attempts, etc. But then again, just to kind of hammer home that point tonight, Sioux Falls hasn't had to do much through the air as they've gotten out to this fast 3-1 start.
Second down, 10. Tyree under center, split backs behind him. Handoff middle, and again, crushed is Jalen Wells, only a gain of 1. And how about E.K. Vincent and the rest of this Toros defense stopping the powerful Sioux Falls run game here early?
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about Sioux Falls getting off to that fast start, that interception on the first drive, but since then, this Toros defense has been really locking things down.
They're down to 9 for the 26. Tyree alone in the gun. He steps up. He goes down. Second sack of the game for the Toros is going to net them another stop. as flying through to make the sack was Joey Schwint, his second of the season.
Right on cue. Another big defensive play here by the Toros. Fantastic sacks, going to force the punt. Big 4th and 12 here for Sioux Falls. Fantastic start to the game here by the Toros on this defensive side of the ball, and hopefully their offense can get things going on this next drive again.
And they're going to get good field position with the punter Max Moholt standing at his own 5. The punt is almost blocked, but he gets it away. Comasack back to receive at his own 40. He won't get much farther than that. Up to the 42-yard line. We're going to take a break and be right back to Fort Worth, Texas. The Toros up 4 with the football when we come back. Back in Fort Worth, Texas, the Toros have a 7-3 lead over the visiting Sioux Falls Sparrows. I'm Michael Travillo. Alongside me is Benji Matson on commentary duty for you tonight. 4:23 left to go in the first. Here is a handoff straight up the middle. And Jason Williams doesn't get anything, gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
It's been a fast start so far. We're already halfway through this first quarter. That was the first running attempt by the Toros. Up to this point, Xander Gold's 5 for 6, 77 yards. That big play to Robert Garrett Jr., and that was their first running play of the game. I think maybe on offense they're going to be looking forward to settling down here, kind of getting back on track with the game plan.
2nd and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Williams again up the middle, and he's going to fall forward for 3 yards as he was taken down by Nick Fargo.
Stout defense up front for Sioux Falls. We mentioned in the open that the Toros are averaging about 60 yards on the ground. Well, the Sioux Falls defense is allowing even less on the ground. They're number 1 in the league, allowing just over 60 yards per game on the ground.
Maybe why they've started with so much passing in the flat. Gold back to pass, short over the middle. Robert Garrett Jr. makes the catch. He's short of the first down marker. He's stopped right at midfield by Nick Fargo, and he's going to be 2 yards shy of the line to gain.
I think you're absolutely right there about attacking the flat. We know that the Toros have had success in the past, especially in their quality win this year at home over Queen City. Jason Williams had a big game out of the backfield receiving the ball, and I think that's going to be a key component to their game tonight.
Going to go for it. 4th down and 2, and they may just be trying to draw the Sparrows off sides. With 5 seconds left, the hard count doesn't work. Fort Worth calls a timeout. Now, usually, I am vehemently against this strategy, but right now, it's the first quarter. You've got a lead. I don't mind it in this situation.
Yeah, you never know what can happen. You can always catch the other team snoozing, catch them, maybe get them to jump off sides. You never know. It's worth a try. You got 3 timeouts in the half. Game's young. You never know what can happen.
On to punt for the first time today is Ray Einhorn, and he stands at his own 35-yard line. Punts it away, looking to pin the Sparrows deep. Caught at the 10. Oh, and going the wrong way again is A.J. Levy. The second disaster of a return for the Sparrows in a row. Remember, he muffed the kickoff after the opening Toros touchdown. And again, Sioux Falls starting at their own 15-yard line.
Some interesting special teams plays there early for the Sparrows. And as they line up here, we look at their stats really fast. It's just an odd start to the game for them. Colin Hart, their all-star running back, has no yards on 2 carries.
Front 7 for the Fort Worth Toros stepping up so far. Tyree back to pass. Plenty of time in the pocket. Throws to the near side, knocked away.
Well defended there on the play. Ben Stone, the rookie, playing strong in that secondary. They were ready for the pass on that play. I think this defense isn't scared by Sioux Falls. They're ready for the challenge today, and I think what we've seen so far in their first quarter proves it. The Toros here at home tonight are ready to play.
They're executing their game plan well so far, forcing Julian Tyree to go to the air. The Sparrows last in the league in passing yards per game. Here is Hart up the middle, crushed by Vincent again after a gain of only 2.
Great blocking them, and that play started by that Sioux Falls offensive line. It just looked like the holes closed, and those linebackers pursued really well. Made that great tackle there to force a 3rd and long.
Now another 3rd and long, 3rd and 8 from the 18-yard line. Tyree with 5 wide. He goes long down the field. It's intercepted. Nacho Sicario picks it off, and he could return this one all the way, and he's going to be run out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Excellent field position for Fort Worth.
Absolutely. Great play on defense. Fort Worth is ready for this 3rd and long play. They're just sitting back, and they pick this ball off that maybe was a tad underthrown by Julian Tyree, and this is a fantastic return by Sicario on this interception. Fort Worth is going to be looking pretty here, set up deep in Sioux Falls territory. 1st and 10.
Well, coming into the game, we were talking beforehand about the ways that Fort Worth could keep this game close and potentially win it, and they are performing our theoretical game plan to a T. Force Sioux Falls to throw and then execute on their mistakes. 1st and 10 inside the red zone at the 13. Xander Gold to the middle, to the end zone. Touchdown, Toros! Stephen Hacker.
Stephen Hacker, all-star for the Fort Worth Toros. He's a fantastic receiver, out of the gates a little bit slow this season, but he is a reliable veteran and is a huge target for Xander Gold. There we see him making the great play coming across the middle on that post pattern with the sticky hands. That was a guaranteed 6 points there on that play by Fort Worth. This is a fantastic start for this team tonight here against Sioux Falls.
The drive goes 1 play, 14 yards and a touchdown. Stephen Hacker, his 3rd of the season. And Taco Sicario is on to attempt the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 1:48 to go. First quarter. Fort Worth 14, Sioux Falls Sparrows 7. And, well, Jason McGee and company have got to get something figured out pretty fast on the offensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. One of the keys to the game we were mentioning earlier was that Fort Worth needed to get off the field on defense on 3rd down. And to this point in the game, Sioux Falls has not converted any 3rd downs.
And right now, my player of the game through this first quarter is E.K. Vincent. 5 tackles. And here's the good return for Levy out to the 28-yard line.
You know, Sioux Falls isn't used to playing from behind, and they're on the road here, still very early in this game, and they're a patient team. They don't make many mistakes. I'm sure the coach is rallying the troops on the sideline. They're not too fazed by this start, I'm sure, but they need to get back to the basics here, and they need to run the ball with Colin Hart.
Well, they're set up just to do that in the offset eye, but they're going to fullback dive it to Wells, and Wells gets nothing, falls forward for just a yard up to the 29.
On 7 rushing attempts so far early in this game, mind you, but on 7 rushing attempts, the Toros have allowed 6 total yards. So I think this is about as much. This is a perfect game so far for this defense, getting everything they can out of this front 7.
2nd and 9. Handoff, middle. It's Hart this time. He doesn't get anything. Back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. And remember, the only 3 points the Sparrows got were off a deflection interception deep in Toros territory at the start of the game. Let's learn a little bit more about these Sioux Falls Sparrows. Established all the way back in 2016. This is their 10th season of existence, and they've only missed the playoffs twice. Oh, Tyree under pressure, and down he goes. A third sack for the Toros in the first quarter, and another drive ender.
Right on cue. Another big play by this defense. Another sack to end a series. Joey Schwint in, partially at least, for a second sack here tonight. This is a great start for this Toros defense. I don't even really know what to say, or how to describe it, except this is awesome if you're a Toro tonight. Sioux Falls has their work cut out for them tonight.
And again, a deep punting position for Max Mohold. It's going to be good field position for the Toros from the 40. Jump cut Comasack gets up to the 47-yard line. And close to midfield is where Fort Worth will start already with a 14-3 lead, 12 seconds to go first quarter.
Yeah, and still Sioux Falls is without a third down conversion. And this was one of my big keys to the game tonight. If the Toros defense can get off the field, get the ball back to their offense, and this offense can produce, then they're going to be sitting pretty tonight. And this seems to be the case across the board so far.
Old steps from the pocket, throws a laser over the middle, and that pass is complete. First down and more to the 37-yard line. Stephen Hacker has his second consecutive grab.
Yeah, Gold's feeling it here, feels that pressure, steps up nicely in the pocket, and fires a rope to Stephen Hacker, who hacks the defense on that one. This is a great sign for Fort Worth, making an easy early connection with Stephen Hacker.
We have reached the end of a quarter, and Fort Worth is dominating. They're up top 14-3 over the Sioux Falls Sparrows, and we'll be right back after this. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Welcome back to Simulation Football League action on a Monday night. I'm Michael Cirillo. Benji Matson is alongside me. Fort Worth, 1st and 10 at the Sioux Falls 37, looking to extend a 14-3 advantage. 11 more minutes on the clock. Deep drop. Gold goes downfield into traffic, knocked away. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Good play there on defense by Sioux Falls. AJ may have been a little discombobulated on this start on a special teams this evening, but he makes a nice recovery so far. And here's a great play, just tipping that ball away from the outstretched hands of the tight end, Robert Garrett Jr.
A.L. Browning, Nick Lasala, and Marty RX are alongside on stats. 2nd and 10 for the Toros. 5 on the line for Sioux Falls. They'll bring them all, and Williams spins away from one tackler and goes 5 yards up the middle.
Good 5-yard gain here by Thrilliams on that second down play. They want to make sure they keep him running between the tackles straight ahead, keeping this Sioux Falls defense honest here on this drive early in the second quarter. We want to set something up over the top, perhaps, for Stephen Hacker.
This is a good spin move by Williams. I usually think of him more as a power back, as Gold, with a man in his lap, gets the pass away and a leaping grab for a first down at the 26-yard line. There's Robert Garrett Jr.
Yeah, he's a huge factor in this game tonight, the Cowboy. Tight ends are always big, important players, big factors in every game. But he's off to a fantastic start, 83 yards on 4 receptions, including that massive tight end. It's a great start today, great game for the Cowboy.
And a big touchdown opened the scoring for the Toros in the first. Gold, plenty of time in the pocket underneath, and the pass is dropped by Chris Komisak, the fullback. Not a situation you're really used to being in out of the backfield.
Now the big fullback, Chris Komisak, 6'4", 240. That's a big load. And sometimes when he gets out there, those eyes big and wide, when he sees that ball coming towards him, maybe he got a little bit too excited and was ready to run up field before he had that one secured.
Komisak, a rookie drafted in the 3rd round from Ottawa. 2nd and 10 for the 26-yard line. Toros looking to turn the screws here in the first half. A short out route to Robert Garrett Jr. And that's 6 yards, and it's 3rd and 4.
Another target for the big tight end. 7 so far earlier in this game. He's a 6'7", 268-pound tight end out of Columbus, Ohio, Robert Garrett Jr. I think we're going to be continuing to talk about him. He's off to a great start this season. He's been a huge factor in their game so far. The league leader in receptions. Off to a great start.
Pass is blocked right out of the hands of Xander Gold. Jonathan Kampf comes in and knocks it away. It'll be 4th and 4. And on comes Taco Sicario to attempt a field goal. So maybe a sign that the Sparrows defense is waking up here in the second quarter.
Yeah, this is a good stop for them here. The ball was taken deep into territory by the Toros offense. This is a great stop here to hold them to just 3 points.
It'll be a 37-yarder. High snap. Kick is all the way. And it is good. And the Fort Worth Toros go up 17-3 on the Sioux Falls Sparrows, who, from what we've seen from them on offense, don't have the firepower to come back already.
Well, it is early still in this game, I'll say. We are in the second quarter here. The key for them is to not panic. They are a tough team on the road. You know they're going to be a resilient bunch, and they've got to come back in them. We're only talking about a 2-score game right now, and there's still so much game in front of them here. They just need to be patient and play Sparrows football.
I mean, if Colin Hart gets going, there's not much in this league that can stop him. Here's Levy, spin move out of 1 tackle, and he gets to the 26-yard line. 9:30 to go. Sparrows back on the ball, down 17-3.
Yeah, that's the key there. If they can get him going, they need to feed him the ball, and they need to do it on the early downs here. Perhaps at the start of the game, we saw them dropping back to pass on early downs in their series, but I think right off the bat, they need to get him the ball early.
Right now, the passing attack has been won handily by Fort Worth, and they're going to start with 4 wide for Julian Tyree, and he finds the underneath route complete and upfield all the way to the 42-yard line.
Great catch there for the first down by the big tight end, Noe Terrazas, the big 6'6" target, 235 pounds in his second year out of Paint Rock, Texas. He's a dependable tight end. He's not involved too much in the passing attack, but then again, Sparrows don't have to throw the ball too much these days. But when they need to, he's a dependable target for them across the middle. That's a fantastic play. Good display of his hands. Sets up another first down for the Sparrows.
1st and 10 for the 42-yard line. Tyree, short drop, throws underneath. That pass is caught by Gunnar Lewis, and he powers forward for a first down into Fort Worth territory.
Gunnar Lewis has been targeted 3 times tonight. That's his first catch. He's their leading receiver on this team. He's dependable. He's a big target at 6'5". They call him Gunnar the Stunner, and that's what he's going to be needing to do today for this Sparrows offense. He's going to need to stun this Toros defense.
Off Hart looking for a lane, finds one along the outside, dragged down from behind, but not before he picks up 11 and a first down to the 33. And there's a little taste of what Colin Hart can bring to an offense.
Yeah, then we see this replay, fantastic blocks. Kicking them out here to the right side of the formation. Lots of daylight ahead of them. This is when the Sparrows can be deadly, when they are ahead of schedule, when they get positive yardage with the run game on first down to set up that short passing game or to hand the ball off again to Hart. It just leads to success for them.
Hart again, crushed to the backfield and dropped. It's Joey Schwint again. He's having an impressive day. 2 sacks already and now another tackle for loss.
Absolutely. The rookie is playing out tonight. They run that ball right towards him. On this play, he couldn't make the play on the previous down, but he blasts past his defender, and he brings Hart down on that play. That's a fantastic tackle for loss there.
Sioux Falls went to the well too many times. They're going to give it to Hart again, this time to the left, and he's going to be brought down for a loss of 3 yards again. E.K. Vincent in on the stop, as well as David Horrell.
Was J.L. Browning there too? Did we have all 3 linebackers in on that play? We see again this example of this Toros linebacking crew pursuing to the ball. They are watching where Colin Hart goes every play. They're not going to let him out of their sight.
3rd and a country mile. I can say that. It's Texas, right? 3rd and 16. Down the field. Caught and fumbled after the catch. The ball is loose and the Toros jump on it at the 10-yard line.
Are you kidding me with that play right there? They finally catch a break in the passing game. They catch the stunner, Gunner the stunner across the middle. He reaches for that ball. Think he's going to come down with it, and he just lets it go. I wonder if they're going to review this. Was it really a completion? I'm not quite sure there. He might not have had control of that ball. Here comes the flag. We'll see what Yeah, go ahead.
Jason McGee get a challenge. Al Dillapre Sr. was the man who had the ball popped out, but it looked like he made a football move in real time, but we'll see what it looks like in slow motion.
Yeah, Big Al, excuse me here, runs a great route there across the middle. Oh, it's going to be hard. That's hard to see there.
It's hard to overturn. He took 2 steps forward with the football. If that's not a football move, I'm not really sure what is, but we'll let the referee sort it out. And the Toros win the challenge. They'll retain the football. They're deep inside their own zone, but they stop the Sparrows from getting a sure points on this drive.
I'm sure we didn't expect Big Al to fumble on that play. That was an unfortunate play, but that is precisely an example of the Toros' game plan here. Force the Sparrows into 3rd and long, make them throw the ball, and good things will happen.
And off. Williams had a head of steam, but only got 6. And that's 2 Sioux Falls fumbles so far. Remember, there was a muffed kickoff return by A.J. Levy that the Sparrows eventually did recover.
Uncharacteristic of the Sparrows this year, all those 2 turnovers here early in the game. And at some point, we need to stop saying that they're going to get things in gear. They just need to start playing.
Off. Williams looking for a lane, can't get away. And it'll be 3rd down and 3.
They're continuing to watch the Toros kind of have their way here. They're playing on the road. Sparrows are, yes. They are due to come out of the gate slow on the road, but they're getting beat up on both sides of the ball right now by the Toros.
On 3rd and 3. In the flat to Williams, who's got an easy first down as Levy comes up and makes the tackle at the 24-yard line. And this second quarter is slipping away quickly, already halfway gone.
In the Week 2 win over Queen City, Jason Williams had an incredible stat line here. 28 carries for 108 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he added 12 receptions and 104 yards. That is thrilliums to the max there, and that's what Toros want to do today with him out of the backfield.
Williams again, big hole up the middle. Spin move takes him past 2 defenders, and he is in the clear. Goodbye. Can he be run down? He will not be run down. Touchdown, Toros.
Right on cue. Thrilliums. He thrills the crowd here in Fort Worth tonight. He puts another 6 spot on the board for the Toros, potentially a 24-3-point lead here, halfway through the second quarter, firing on all cylinders. Nothing is going wrong for the Toros. Nothing's going right tonight for the Sparrows. Something has got to change tonight if you're the Sparrows, because they are in danger of letting this game slip away.
Jason Williams showing off the speed and the power and the finesse. 2 spin moves made Terrell Davis look absolutely silly on that second spin. And it's a Toros runaway train right now. 23-3 pending the extra point from Taco Sicario.
That was a violent run by Jason Williams. A thing of beauty. That's going to be for sure on the highlight reel for the Toros.
Taco on the field. Extra point is up. Extra point is good. And we have a runaway train here in Texas. The Fort Worth Toros are blowing out the Sioux Falls Sparrows. It's 24-3. We'll be back on the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans after this. Welcome back to Fort Worth. The hometown Toros are all over the Sioux Falls Sparrows right now, 24-3, as we close out this final night of action in the SFL's Week 5. I'm Michael Torillo. Benji Matson is alongside me. And a fumble on the return again, the second by Levy. Who's got the football? It was a scrum of about the 27-yard line. It looks like the Sparrows will retain it.
Well, this could be considered a disaster already if you're Sioux Falls, but that would have been a double disaster. I don't know what word to use if they would have coughed that at one up there and gave the Toros the ball in the 30. Sparrows have to make some moves here.
1st and 10 from the 29. Here is a fullback dive, and again, a blue wall just stifles him. And here is the rushing defenses coming into the game in terms of yards per game for Fort Worth and Sioux Falls.
Yeah, we expected to see this, honestly, when we were talking before the game. These two teams bashing heads, but you see that discrepancy on the board, both in the top 6. But tonight, Fort Worth is just balling out on defense. They are not allowing anything on the ground.
Again, batting backwards is Colin Hart, and he's going to lose 4 yards back to the 25. Pursuit to the football is second to none right now for this Toros defense.
I think Colin Hart's had 9 carries. I don't even think he's broken 5 yards. So we'll see what the stats say when they update, but he's hovering around 0. Unbelievable.
And again, 3rd and a mile. 3rd and 14. Tyree over the middle, incomplete. Knocked away by David Horrell, who makes a tackle in the backfield on one play and a pass breakdown on a next play, and it's a 3-and-out for Sioux Falls.
David Horrell, the team's first-round pick this year out of Birmingham, is enjoying a great season here in his rookie campaign. 7 tackles last week, 5 assists. The linebacker's all over the field here in his early career. That was a great play he made there to force another Sioux Falls punt.
Max Moholt again punting from inside his 10-yard line. This will be the 3rd one of the game. Punt away. And picked up at the 40-yard line. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, you're watching the first controllerless esport, where strategy and AI instead of thumbs determines the outcome. Teams submit game plans prior to the simulation. The results play out live in real time with hundreds of viewers turned players, scouts, coaches, and team owners on the field in an all-new kind of virtual reality. Visit simulationfl.net for more information. Toros with a 24-3 lead with the football at their own 40-yard line, 1st and 10. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go first half. Gold gonna take a shot on first down and hauling it in at the 39-yard line. An impressive pitch and catch in traffic.
First catch of the day by Cade Stevens there. The great vet for Fort Worth brings that ball in. Great catch. Just doesn't seem that Fort Worth can do anything wrong on the offensive side of the ball tonight. Or defensive side of the ball, else for that matter. But they are just enjoying all the spoils tonight so far in this game.
Gold is so confident right now at a quarterback. He threw a 50-50 ball against John Barnhart. Handoff Williams up the middle. He'll get fooled.
And Sparrows are a championship pedigree team. They're on the ropes here right now. And with 3.5 minutes almost and counting here in the second quarter, this is the time for this defense to make a stand and force a Toros punt, get this ball back to the offense for one more try here for the halftime.
Pretty much everybody is shocked, as you saw by the community poll there. As again, over the middle, one-handed catch by Robert Garrett Jr. Xander Gold is throwing darts tonight, and his receivers are hauling him in.
And Robert Garrett Jr. lassoed that one in and just jumped up in the air to add a little flair on that one, I'm sure. Wow, he reeled that one in. That was a great catch by the tight end who's enjoying a fantastic day. Almost over 100 yards receiving in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 29. Handoff. Williams, another spin move, gets him by one tackler. He's tackled by Jose Fuentes after a gain of 5.
He's such a dangerous weapon in the run game for the Toros, and when they can get that run game going, then it just opens up the playbook for their playmakers on the outside. But that spin move is deadly from Williams.
Off middle, Williams again with a huge hole to run through, and a jump cut gets him all the way to the 12-yard line. Jason Williams, and he's showing the world that he wants to be the new Colin Hart.
Absolutely. 9 carries, 121 yards already. First half for Jason Williams. This is a fantastic effort here by this team. Great blocks up front by the Big Hogs, clearing the way for Williams, who's enjoying a fantastic game today, which was one of our keys tonight, and that's just playing out perfectly for Fort Worth tonight.
That was a nasty jump cut on that last play by Williams. Absolutely put Jay Ringgold in the dirt. We've hit the 2-minute warning here. Fort Worth try to blow this one even wider open than it already is. Toros 24, Sparrows 3. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Two minutes to go, first half. It's all Toros, and they're in the red zone. Try to do it again. It's 24-3, Fort Worth over Sioux Falls. On the final game of Week 5, the Simulation Football League's 15th season, here goes Williams up the middle to the 5 and tackled at the 2. Touchdown saving grab by A.J. Levy.
Look at those stats there on that screen, averaging 12 yards a carry. Of course, that was inflated a bit by his fantastic big run earlier in the game. But no buts about it. Toros are just running all over the Sparrows.
Didn't get a first down. Second down and inches from the 2. Handoff, Williams. He bounces off one tackle but can't get away from the second one as Jose Fuentes brings him down. 3rd down and 1 from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, that's a great stop there by the Sparrows. Sets up a 3rd and 1, an important 3rd and 1. Just 1 yard here they're battling for, but if they can hold the line here and force a field goal, Sparrows might still be in this game.
Off Williams, middle. Did he get the first down? Yes, he did. 1st and goal from inside the 2-yard line for the Toros.
Yeah, Williams fell forward there for the first down. Didn't have too far to go on that battle for that 1 yard we just talked about. Sets up a 1st and goal for the Toros.
Quick snap. Gold looks to throw. Does throw to Williams. Going to get the ball over the line. No. 2nd down and goal from the 1.
Decided to air it out there on that 1st and goal. Good pass to the outside there, but just couldn't seal the deal on that one. Sets up a 2nd and short. 40 seconds left to go in this half. Wouldn't be surprised if they hand it to Thrilliams.
I mean, that's not a bad call in that situation. Try and stretch the Sparrows defense out a little bit. They're going to go 4 wide, 3 in a bunch formation to the right. On 2nd and goal, Gold throws it short. Williams, and he's gobbled up by a gang of Sparrows and loses 2 yards. 3rd and goal at the 3. They have 2 timeouts, 30 seconds to go in the first half. They're going to go up-tempo, though. Gold goes for the one-on-one matchup in the end zone, and he was knocked away. He was looking for Stephen Hacker, but he was covered well by Terrell Davis. And it's 4th and goal, and the Sparrows have a goal line stand.
Yeah, mark this series down as we head into halftime and then come out for the second half. Sioux Falls forces a field goal here. The Toros had 1st and goal from like the 2-yard line, and they couldn't punch it in. Questionable play calling perhaps by the Toros. Maybe they're getting a bit fancy, thinking they have this game in hand, but you sure would have liked to have seen them run that in with Williams to increase this lead.
Taco Sicario on to increase it by just 3. And the kick is up, and the kick is good with 21 seconds to go in the first half. It's Toros 27, Sparrows 3.
Quite the first half we've had.
Yeah, a lot of scoring. Most of it going the way of the Toros. Impressive defense by the Toros. I mean, pretty much everybody in the front 7 of Fort Worth's defense has had a good game so far. David Horrell, E.K. Vincent, J.L. Browning, Joey Schwind has 2 sacks and a tackle for loss. I mean, it's just been all Toros all the time in this first half, and it doesn't help that the Sparrows twice have put the ball on the ground on returns, and once they put the ball on the ground on a pass play, and that one went the Toros' way, and that was a real backbreaker for the Sparrows, in my opinion, because it happened in the red zone.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd wish you could have that one back. They were really extending that drive and were set up well to score on that one.
16 seconds to go in the first half. It's going to be Jalen Wells right up the middle. E.K. Vincent wraps him up, and it looks like we will head to the break. What an eventful first half here in Fort Worth. The crowd on their feet saluting their Toros as they head into the locker room. They head there with a 27-3 lead. And Benji Matson, break down this first half for me.
Well, I thought we were going to be in store for a good game today. I thought it was going to be a rather low-scoring affair with some stout run defense on display and the Sparrows coming in and smacking around the Toros a bit, perhaps. But my, oh my, that didn't necessarily go according to plan. I think Fort Worth had something to say coming out today, and they are making a statement. They're playing well on all sides of the ball. They got started early in the passing game, and then Williams got uncorked with a huge run, a big play from the Cowboy. This offense put the pain on the Sparrows, and the Sparrows are having a hard time getting on track. I don't think they're a team that's built to come back. One of the stats I'm looking at right now, we talked about it earlier in the game, was Toros were hoping to get the Sparrows off the field and get the ball back to the offense. Toros have not converted a 3rd down yet in this game. They're giving up big plays, which is uncharacteristic, and the offense can't stay on the field with the #1 rushing attack in the league. I don't know what's going to happen in the second half. I don't know if the Sparrows are built to make a comeback like this. We're going to see. Again, they're a championship pedigree team. They know how to win. It's not in their DNA to go down without a fight. They're going to make this an interesting game somehow, some way, I'm sure, in the second half. The Toros need to stay focused and put this thing away early.
The big stat, 6 rushing yards combined for the best rushing attack in the league that averages 211 a game. And that's between both Colin Hart and Jalen Wells. Now, the Sparrows do get the ball first in the second half, and there's the big play that really swung the momentum in the Toros' favor. The fumble in the red zone that was picked up by Davis. And then just a couple plays later, Williams, nasty spin move, sticks a defender in the dirt, runs for a touchdown. And it's been all Fort Worth so far in this game. They're running away with it, but never count out the Sparrows, as you said, Benji. Yeah. They went all the way to the finals a season ago, only falling short to the Atlanta Swarm.
Yeah, absolutely. Potential 14-point swing there, that fumble and then that long Williams run. But again, I want to draw your attention to that ending series there in the first half when the Toros had the opportunity to salt this one away with another touchdown, decided to get cute with their play calling, and had to kick a field goal. I think Coach had some fiery words at halftime for these Sparrows, and I will not be surprised to see him coming out swinging here in this second half.
Well, it's going to be on the arm of Julian Tyree, who is dead last in the league in passing yards per game, but he hasn't needed to be to this point in the season because Colin Hart and Jalen Wells have done most of the work on the ground, but you can't really run the ball with any sort of consistency down by 24. And Levy gets crushed at the 21-yard line. That was a violent hit as the Sparrows will start there. And I do want to bring to your attention the points that the Sioux Falls Sparrows have scored this season. In a win over Portland in Week 1, they won 37-7. A win over Atlanta in Week 2, they won 35-14. Even in the loss in Charleston, they lost 38-31, and they won against Las Vegas 27-19. So there are definitely points in this Sparrows roster. It's going to be Colin Hart up the middle, pushes one defender over and gets 5. And that's his longest run of the night, if you can believe it.
I can't believe it, Michael. That's crazy. These are some crazy stats we are pitching out here right now as we come back after this kickoff and finish this game here in the second half. It's just rather unbelievable at the moment, and we are waiting to see the true Sioux Falls Sparrows team come to life here in this game.
2nd and 5 from 26. Jalen Wells skirts away from a tackle, gets a first down. I was incorrect that 5-yard run by Colin Hart was his longest of the game. He had an 11-yarder back in the first quarter.
That was a great run there by the fullback to get them a new fresh set of downs. That was something that didn't happen too often in that first half. They couldn't stay on the field. They couldn't convert. Again, no third down conversions yet in the game for Sioux Falls. They converted early on a few early downs with some key passes and runs, but they got to sustain this drive, put some points on the board.
Put it down for the Sparrows. Colin Hart. No, that's Jalen Wells. It doesn't matter. Wrapped up and dropped for a loss of 1. And that's Catherine Horrell on the tackle.
Catherine Horrell is another great rookie here for this Toros defense. Big 6'4", 305-pound defensive tackle. She's enjoying a fantastic rookie campaign. Makes a huge stop there on first down.
5 sacks for Horrell in the first 4 weeks of play. Here's Colin Hart dragged down from behind by David Horrell. And it'll be 3rd down and 9 after the gain of 1.
Sets up a passing situation for the Sparrows here. Right on schedule if you're the defense here for Fort Worth. And what in the world are the Sparrows going to do here as they come out 5 wide? They have got to convert this 3rd and 9.
3rd and long has not been kind to Sioux Falls tonight. A late blitz comes. It's picked up, throwing deep down the middle. And a diving catch into Fort Worth territory. Great grab, and Tyree finally gets the downfield shot to work. A.J. Warren grabs that catch.
Yeah, timely. Their first 3rd down conversion right there. They had to have it. And when they needed to, they got a great play there out of A.J. Warren, kind of running that post route there. Only 4 receptions last week, only 28 yards. These receivers aren't involved heavily in the passing game. they have to be now moving forward in this game. The Sparrows have to throw the ball to get back into it. And that was a great start there. Great connection to A.J. Warren.
Tyree slings it far side. Catch is made by Wells, and Wells is pushed to the ground after a gain of 7 yards. And you mentioned Jason McGee may make some calls at halftime, and it looks like he has, as this is the most effective Sparrows drive we've seen since the opening quarter.
Yeah, exactly what they needed to have, too, to open this second half.
2nd and 3. Here's Hart. Gets a block. Gets some space. Gets another block on the outside. Pushes the defender into the dirt. Breaks a 3rd tackle. And gets all the way down to the 13-yard line. There's Colin Hart at his brutal finest.
Brutal finest. That was violent. That's a fantastic run. We see what they're capable of here. Yes, the blocks up front were fantastic. But look what he does in the secondary here. He destroys them. This is a big stiff arm here for Colin Hart. The league's leading rusher, punishes 2 defenders here. This is a great gain, great pickup by the Sparrows. Sets up another first down. This is where they're at their best. This running game, big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down, short 3rd down conversions, keep the ball running. Then they can get the receivers involved on the outside. This is what we need to see more of in the second half for the Sparrows.
Into the red zone for the first time since the first drive of the game. Handoff. Colin Hart looking for a lane. Finally gets inside and pulls over a man again. This time, Nacho Sicario, who had the interception earlier, felt the sting as he was landed on his backside by Hart. 2nd down and 5.
Absolutely. Colin Hart should be fresh, too, here as we come into the second half. Didn't get a whole lot of action in the first half on the ground, so he should be ready to go for the rest of this game.
The 8-yard line. Here's Wells up the middle, dragging defenders for 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and less than 1. Well, excuse me, that was Colin Hart on the dive, and 3rd and inches from the 3. Colin Hart is running angry to start this 3rd quarter.
He's very angry. And I think that's where he's at his best, when he turns beastly, which is what we're seeing on this drive.
Offset eye, no receivers. Here's Hart, and he's going to look for a lane, and he's going to be stopped up short of the end zone, but he will pick up a 1st down inside the 2. Remember, this is exactly where the Fort Worth Toros were to end the first half, and they couldn't punch it in. Let's see if the Sparrows can go one better.
Yeah, just won the individual battle there on that run to the left off tackle. Needed to get that extra yard, and he got it falling forward. Sets up this 1st and goal.
The 2. Hart following his fullback, dragging defenders inside the 1, and he gets put down short of the goal line. Massive hit by David Horrell.
Great drive here by Sioux Falls. And look at the clock there. We're just about 4 minutes into the second half. So it's a 4-minute drive. Yeah, they're taking some time, but they needed to sustain one drive, have some success. And they could pound this ball in right now and narrow the gap in this game.
Going to be a dive, and Jalen Wells falls forward for the touchdown. And the Sparrows are finally off the ground here in this 3rd quarter.
Little inside fullback give to Jalen Beanie Wells. The big fullback scores his 4th touchdown, I believe, of the year.
2nd touchdown of the season for Wells.
There we go. Thank you. Great inside play there, using the Colin Hart as a decoy to the outside. And just like that, can we say the Sioux Falls Sparrows might be back in this game? Are they back on schedule? We'll see. Still a potentially 17-point deficit here. There's a lot of game time left here in the second half.
I mean, to come back, they're going to have to stop Fort Worth on defense. Extra point from Maxwell Falk is up and good. The Sparrows may be climbing their way back into this game. 5:58 to go, 3rd quarter. Fort Worth 27, Sioux Falls 10. This is the Simulation Football League at 11 Sports. And for the fans, don't touch that dial. Sioux Falls scores their first touchdown of the game. They trail the Fort Worth Toros 27-10, 5:58 to go third quarter here on this final night of Week 5 competition here in the Simulation Football League. 5 yards to the end zone brought up by the Toros and a nice return up to the 28-yard line. And let's take a look at two members of this Sparrows defense who are really going to have to step up if they want to get back into this game.
Yeah, this linebacking duo here, Parker and Fargo, they've been excellent this year for the Sparrows, and they need to come out on fire here in the second half. They've enjoyed great success, the Toros have, with Jason Williams out of the backfield, and this linebacking duo needs to track him down if the Sparrows are going to get back into this game.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. A handoff to Williams, and right on cue, he's tackled for only a 2-yard gain by Nick Fargo.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on cue, right? That's how we draw these things up. If you're the Sparrows, you have some momentum. There's a little flicker of life there. You're only down 17 points. There's a lot of game to play. You're the #1 team in the SFL. You're not used to losing. They think to themselves, we're not out of this game yet. They have a lot of confidence here in the second half. This defense is going to come out firing.
2nd and 8. Handoff, Williams runs right by one tackler, and he's going to pick up a first down out to the 31-yard line. And on your think about a glimmer of light for the Sparrows, I'm going to use a boxing or combat sports analogy. They got punched in the face in the first half, and how will they respond in the second round or second half of this football game?
Absolutely. A prize fighter is used to taking those blows. Champions used to taking those blows and coming back out and responding and getting back up off the mat, etc. And this is going to be a true test for these Sparrows. We're going to see what they're made of here in the second half with their backs against the wall.
1st and 10 for the Toros from their own 31. Gold to throw for the first time in the second half, and gets it right in there for a 10-yard gain to the 41-yard line. Cade Stevens, his second catch of the game.
Converts for the first down there, which is exactly what the Toros need to do on this drive. They need to keep the ball away from the Sparrows. Sioux Falls is used to keep the ball away from the opposing team on offense with that running game, and now the tables have turned. It's the and keep this ball away from the Sparrows in the second half.
Gold back to pass, throws over the middle and complete for a 9-yard gain. Cameron Curtis picks up a catch, his first of the game.
First of the game by Cameron Curtis, the great rookie, 6'6", 217-pound rookie, played for Annapolis in the minor leagues so far in this year. He's got 10 receptions, 117 yards. He's a great change of pace wide receiver for this Toros. He's there when they need him.
2nd and inches from the 49-yard line, just on the, oh, look at Jason Williams again. He spins, he stays on his feet, and he gets past the 40 out of the 39-yard line, finally tracked down at the 39-yard line. And again, Jason Williams is having a showcase tonight.
Absolutely. He's trucking people now. He saw Colin Hart have success on that drive. We are talking about Colin being beastly. And Jason Williams says, I got something to say about that, too. You guys can watch me run out here now. He's running powerful, upright, strong. He wants to help this Toros team put this game away.
Talk about putting the game away. There's already just over 3 minutes to go in the third with a 17-point advantage. Handoff, Williams, and again, nobody is there at the second level for the Sparrows, and he gets 8 yards on first down.
Yeah, the Sparrows are interesting to see what they're doing here. They should be keen now on Williams. They know that he's going to be more than likely the Toro that's going to get the ball in this situation here, whether it's a pass out of the backfield or running up the middle. They got to be watching where he is on the field at all times.
Well, that side they got to him. He gained only 1 as Alex Parker made the tackle. A third down and 1 at the 30. And the clock is not on the Sparrows' side, especially for a team, like we said, that their strength is running the football. And really haven't shown much through the air tonight or all season. 3rd and 1. Williams the back. He gets the ball. He is taken down for a no gain. 4th and 1 and a nice defensive stand by Sioux Falls.
Absolutely. Forces perhaps a potential field goal here. We'll see if the Toros come out and line up to go for this one, which is something you might employ if you're up 17. But it looks like they're going to come out and try the kick here to push this back to a 20-point lead.
This will be a 46-yarder. from Taco Sicario. Hold is good. Kick is good, is away, and it is good from 46 yards out. So it's now a 20-point advantage. Toros 30, Sparrows 10, and with only 1 minute and 50 seconds left to go in the third.
Sparrows have forced 2 field goals in the last 2 drives by Fort Worth, so they're winning that battle. But time might be starting to run out from them. They need to force a few punts now that they've stopped them held them to a few field goals. But on defense, they really need to turn them over, force a few punts here if they're going to get back into it.
Yeah, the real enemy of the Sioux Falls Sparrows right now is the clock. And I say that even as we're not even in the fourth quarter yet. Levy, nice return, breaks 1 tackle, gets to the 30-yard line. Minute 45 to go in the third. Sparrows down 20, 30-10, as Fort Worth looking to grab their second win of the year. Sparrows trying to join the gaggle of teams at 4-1 atop the league. First and 10 for the Sparrows from their own 30-yard line. Twin backs next to Julian Tyree in the gun. Fort Worth shows blitz. They back off. Tyree throws it short to Colin Hart. Colin Hart breaks a tackle, gets close to a first down, and he will indeed pick it up. Get your player position locked and loaded today through our Discord server and the SFL Minor League. SFLM, now 12 teams. There's more opportunities than ever to be the player you've always wanted to be. Join the Discord community through simulationfl.net. The second season of the SFL Minor League starts in October. Contact Deputy Commissioner Andrew Restelli on Discord for more information. First and 10 for the 40 after the 10-yard pickup by Colin Hart. I formation. It's going to be a handoff to Jalen Wells, and he gets 1 right up the middle. And I think that's a play that they're going to have to take out of the playbook for the rest of this game.
I would agree with you, good sir, on that one. The Sparrows need to figure out how they can attack this Toros defense, and time's starting to run out. They've got to start attacking, throwing this ball downfield now. 2nd and 9, they're lining up tight in this running formation once again.
Another I formation look on 2nd and 9. It's again a fullback dive, and again only a minimal gain of 2. 3rd down and 7 as Jalen Wells continues to run the football.
Yeah, surprising play call there. 2 fullback dives in a row. So far, they've given Colin Hart and Jalen Wells about 25 carries. Colin Hart enjoyed some success on that previous drive, but largely they have been smothered today by this Toros defense. They're just not getting anything on the ground.
Now 3rd and long, where the Sparrows have struggled all night. High snap, corralled by Tyree, throws over the middle, and it's caught and fumbled the football again. Again, it's picked up by the Toros for the 2nd time.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that just happened. A second potential fumble here. I wonder if they'll review this one again. Stepped up in the pocket. Big Al on the reception. Would this be his second potential fumble in this game tonight?
It would, and I think Sioux Falls, I don't think this one is as clear-cut as the one in the first half. He clearly took 2, maybe even 3 steps in the first half here. I don't even think he took a step before the ball popped loose. It's going to be 4th and 10 for the Sparrows, but they will not give the ball to Fort Worth in this good of field position.
Yeah, we see on the replay there, he brings that ball in and is trying to make a move, employing a spin move there. I couldn't quite catch the footwork. We'll see what the ump says.
Oh my goodness, it stands again! And the Sparrows lose a second challenge on a fumble after a reception by Al Dillapre Sr. is deja vu for the Sioux Falls Sparrows. They're in a good position, and then they cough up the football, and the Toros have it in Sparrow territory just across midfield at the 49-yard line. Here they go, 1st and 10 for the Toros, dressed all in blue, dominating the game right now up by 20. With 24 seconds left to go in the third. Handoff Jason Williams, and he will pick up 3 yards.
Okay, continuing to pad these stats, 19th carry of the game for Williams. He's up over 150 yards, 166 yards, including that big long run and that touchdown. 76-yard run helps pad those stats, but he's having a fantastic game, adding 6 receptions and another 10 yards to his stat line there. He'll probably be featured here for the rest of the timeout for the Toros.
We have reached the fourth quarter. Put your bars up. It's Toros 30, Sparrows 10. Fort Worth try to run the sands of time out on the Sparrows. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Welcome back to Fort Worth, Texas. Fourth quarter on tap. I'm Michael Trevillo, Benji Matson alongside me, along with JL Browning, Nick LaSala, and Mighty RX on stats. Handoff, Jason Williams has a bit of running room straight up the middle and gets it to a 3rd and 2.
Fourth quarter, 11 more minutes to go here in this game. Toros have really taken it to the Sparrows tonight. This is an impressive game for the Toros tonight. We'll talk about it a bit more here as this game continues to wind down.
3rd and 2. It's all set up for Williams. And it's going to be a throw, actually, from Xander. Gold catches the defense off guard, and Robert Garrett Jr. has a first down to the 33-yard line.
Another catch by the big tight end. 7 receptions tonight. Over 100 yards for Robert Garrett Jr. Toros haven't had to throw the ball very much. If you subtract Robert Garrett Jr.'s big 65-yard reception, I believe, Xander Gold really has only thrown for about 115, 120 yards tonight. He hasn't had to win the game with his arm tonight, which we thought he might have to do tonight.
Throw down the field. Here's Stephen Hacker. One-handed catch, and he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Toros. And that may just be the nail in the coffin.
The Hacker. 2nd touchdown of the game. A nice route by Stephen Hacker. Great connection here. Fast off the line of the scrimmage. Not quite sure what happened, but he had his man burnt to the end zone for this 2nd score of the day for Stephen Hacker. Welcome to the Toros, Stephen Hacker. Great game today.
Really, and tonight feels almost like welcome to the season, Stephen Hacker. He started so slowly, only 248 yards through the first 4 games and 2 touchdowns, and this is a man who lit the league on fire as a member of the Queen City Corsairs a season ago. Extra point up and good from Taco Sicario, and the Toros go up 37-10 with 10 minutes to go.
The Toros look like a scary team tonight, especially on offense. Their defense has played fantastic. Lights out on defense. But when you have receivers like Robert Garrett Jr., Cade Stevens, Stephen Hacker making plays like this, Jason Williams out of the background, this is formidable. This could be a scary offensive team here as they continue to play and gel this season.
Little nice spin move by Levy, and Levy could go. He gets a block, and A.J. Levy. Goodbye. Touchdown, Sparrows.
Well, they needed that in the first half for sure. A.J. Levy had a few miscues on special teams, but he makes up for it here on this play. Fantastic return on special teams by the Sparrows star and captain. Trying everything he can to keep his team in the game tonight.
He blocked right at the end there by Zeke Zimmerman. The defensive tackle allowed Levy to get the space he needed, and he's got the top speed. Even a 10-season veteran at A.J. Levy has the top speed to run away from everybody on that play. So Sioux Falls gets the special teams play, and pending the extra point, they're still only down 20 with 9:55 to go. Kick on the way and good from Moholt, or Maxwell Falk rather, and we will take a break. When we come back, it's the Toros back on offense, up by 20 in the fourth quarter. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Welcome back to Fort Worth, Texas, the Stockyards Stadium. The hometown Fort Worth Toros are all over the visiting Sioux Falls Sparrows in a complete reversal of fortunes from what their records would have you believe. 9:55 to go. Cameron Curtis brings it out from 2 yards deep in the end zone to get to the 21-yard line. As the reminder how the community thought this game would go, it's gone the complete opposite direction.
A complete stunner this week we're witnessing here deep in the second half of this game. Week 5 in the SFL has seen a few of these games where teams we thought were heading into sure victories wound up on the losing end of things this week. The SFL.
Well, handoff, Williams. Oh my goodness. Like, again, nobody in the middle to stop Jason Williams. He picks up 11 and a first down. And I'm going to borrow a line from one of my favorite broadcasters, John Sterling of the New York Yankees. He always says, you can't predict baseball. Well, you can't predict SFL football, Benji.
Nope.
Because this week has been just topsy-turvy. And with that, I'll pivot to the out-of-town scoreboard presented by ScoreStream to let you know what else happened this week in the world of the Simulation Football League. We'll get to that after this 1st and 10 play from the Fort Worth 32. Off Williams. This time he'll only get one up the middle. Starting off, we had the Atlanta Swarm taking on the Chicago Wildcats. Wildcats prevailed in that one 17-14. Baltimore beat Vancouver 33-23. And Houston, with a dramatic late interception, beats Mexico City 42-31. Jacksonville beat Carolina 44-24. 2nd and 9 from the 32-yard line. Offset I. Gold back to throw over the middle into traffic and complete to Robert Garrett Jr. First down up to the 47-yard line. Another impressive catch for Garrett. St. Louis, it continues to shock everybody. A team of rookies beat Queen City 20-3. Louisville all over Portland, Louisiana, all over Portland 49-3. Tulsa beat Las Vegas 16-13 in the crowd play game of the week. And Charleston beat Arizona 16-10, snapping the undefeated run of games for the Scorpions. Denver beat London 58-10, and Florida beat Lone Star 44-41 in overtime earlier tonight. Handoff Williams on 1st and 10. He gets one, and that's your out-of-town scoreboard presented by ScoreStream, the official live scoring app of the Simulation Football League. We've had some great games this weekend.
There are great games every weekend in the SFL.
That's true. Very true. But between the overtime game earlier tonight, the Houston-Mexico City game that came down to the wire, the Baltimore-Vancouver game that was very intense, here's Williams on a pass out of the backfield. Picks up 6, 3rd down and 3.
SFL is must-see TV every week. You never know what you're going to get. It's exciting. Just like we thought Sparrows were going to come in here today and dominate like they have so far this year en route to their 3-1 record. You just never know what's going to happen, especially when you come in and face a young team like Fort Worth that was excited to play at home tonight. playing a great game.
They certainly were up to it, and the coaching staff put together a fantastic game plan. 3rd and 3, teardrop over the top from Gold, caught by Robert Garrett Jr. He's been a very good force over the middle for Fort Worth tonight, and maybe a sneaky suspicion he might get player of the game.
It's quite possible. I mean, you can't stop this guy at the moment. That's a favorite pattern there. They always hook up on that short route there, and he's converted I don't know how many first downs for the team tonight. Having a great game.
Again, another great run from Williams. He'll pick up a first out of the Sioux Falls 27. This is just draining so much clock, and the Sparrows can't stop him. And one thing I was looking at, Benji, in the last commercial break, I was looking at the stats sheet powered by JL Browning, Nick LaSala, and Mighty RX. And I was thinking to myself, man, if you took away the names and the numbers and the logos from this stat sheet and just looked at the numbers, just looked at the stats, you would have thought that these teams were flipped, that Fort Worth and Sioux Falls had each other's stats tonight. It's just been that crazy. 1st and 10, Williams over the middle, he'll get 5.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That's a unique way to spin it if you look at the stats without names and numbers like that. I think that you never know what to expect in the SFL. I think that what we're seeing tonight from Sioux Falls is not indicative of their team. I think they had some breaks not go their way tonight, some unlucky bounces of the ball. They're a great team at 3-1, and they're going to have a great season this year.
5 yards from 200 for Williams, and he'll pivot, get it now as he picks up a first down to the 14-yard line. That's a 200-yard evening. Excuse me, that's not Jason Williams on the carry. That's Bailey Rentley. So Williams is not going to get to 200 as the backups are out.
Well, that's a great game by Jason Williams as he's icing now on the bench. Congratulations, Thrilliums, for helping lead your team here to victory today. As Fort Worth driving down to possibly put some more points on the board, they can start to reflect on what a great game they've played tonight.
Off Rentley, and he gets 1. Next week, the Sioux Falls Sparrows are home against Tulsa. The Tulsa Desperados will be a stern test. They won this week against Las Vegas. And the Fort Worth Toros go on the road next week to face the Florida Storm. Throw to the far sideline, and spinning out of bounds is Chris Komisak. Actually, he stayed inbounds. The clock continues to run under 4:45 to go.
It's hard to sustain success, continued success from game to game to game in the SFL because there's just so many variables. But you want to see, after this fantastic game by Fort Worth, looking forward to that Florida game next week. You want to see how a week of preparation does for them and how they come out and play against the Storm next week. Can they keep this running? Can they keep it moving forward?
3rd and 5 from the 9. Handoff, Rentley, up the middle. Oh, he goes right through. That's Jason Williams back on the field. He's going to pick up 200 yards and another touchdown. They put him back in the game, and Jason Williams delivers.
He must have said something to the coach there. He must have been looking at the stats. Coach, I need 200. Put me back in. A great way to celebrate the end of this game and this fantastic effort by Williams tonight and the Toros to put him up over 200 yards on 26 carries and a pair of touchdowns.
He adds the exclamation point for the Fort Worth Toros and an ecstatic Stockyard Stadium as the fans have stayed throughout the game to watch their Toros get their second win of the season. And it's going to be an interesting game next week between Fort Worth and Sioux Falls, or Florida rather, because it's two teams that started slowly but have put on fantastic performances not only this week. Specifically, that Florida offense has really come alive. A.J. Levy driven backwards to the 22-yard line.
Interesting stat here in the second half after that long Sioux Falls drive to start the second half. 12 plays, 77 yards, and a touchdown by Sioux Falls. We thought for a moment they were going to be back in the game. And for a while there, they just couldn't get back on the field. They've had the ball a few times since then, but really have no sustained success in the second half whatsoever. It's a strange occurrence of events for them in this game.
It's really opposite of how the Sioux Falls Sparrows want to play football. Pump fake from Tyree over the middle, short for 7 to Al Dillapre Sr. They'll go up tempo, but down 44-17 with just under 4 minutes to go. They probably just want to pad the stat sheet a little bit. Nice throw into traffic. And A.J. Warren comes down with it at the 44. Tyree again. Throws short into traffic, caught. First down and more inside Toros territory to the 44-yard line. Benny Beasley picked up that catch. And Tyree again, throwing over the middle again. It pops up into the air and it's intercepted. And there is the exclamation point for the defense. And getting a chance to go the other way is Ben Stone. Will he get his first touchdown in the Simulation Football League? Yes, he will. The rookie, Ben Stone, gets his moment to shine. Off the interception, he takes it all the way back for 6 points, and the Toros have put a 50 spot on the Sparrows in prime time.
Way to go, rookie. Welcome to the SFL with that one. Ben Stone, Doc Hollywood, whatever you want to call him. He can choose his own nickname after that one tonight. Great rookie out of Birmingham, Alabama. Played quarterback in the minor league. Switched positions to the defense here for the Toros. That's a fantastic play by the rookie. One he'll never forget.
Second round pick from Birmingham. Went 59 overall to the Fort Worth Toros. That is his first interception of his career, and it's his first pick 6 of his career. How about that for the rookie getting his little chance to shine tonight? We'll take a short break. Toros pouring it on. They're up 51-17. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Welcome back to Fort Worth, Texas. The Toros all over the Sparrows, 51-17. I'm Michael Torello. Benji Matson is alongside me, as well as J.L. Browning, Nick Lasada, and Mighty RX on stats. And let's take a look at the leaders in rushing touchdowns. This is coming into the week, and McChesney now with 8. Streeter with 8. Williams has 2 tonight. He'd be up to 7, and that would make him third. Colin Hart, with no production tonight, would fall out of that leaderboard.
A tough night for the league leader.
Throw underneath, complete to Turin James. And here comes the up-tempo again. Moving in the pocket as Tyree throws underneath to Noe Terrazas. Haven't seen much from him tonight, the tight end. 3rd down and 1 after the pickup of 2. Tyree underneath, almost threw another interception. He threw it behind Gunnar Lewis. It's going to be 4th and 1. Let's take a look at the stats coming into the game for Catherine Horrell, as the rookie has really shown out both tonight and all season.
Yeah, the Toros have lots of great young players on this team, especially on this defense. A lot of rookies, and Catherine Horrell's no exception. She's playing fantastic here to start her rookie career with the Toros. She's up towards the lead for defensive tackles with her play on the field so far this year. Been a fantastic player for this Toros defense.
Off middle, and it'll be a 1st down for Jalen Wells. Catherine Horrell has 1 sack tonight. That gives her 6 on the season. Hand off again to Wells, and it looks like the Sioux Falls Sparrows just wanna get on the bus and head back to the state of South Dakota. We still got the 2-minute warning to get through, which is 15 seconds away. 3rd down and 7 after consecutive runs. Here is Wells again. Wells goes down, no gain again. 4th and 7, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. We'll be back to wrap this one up after the break. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. For the final time, welcome back to Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Michael Tuello. Benji Matson is alongside me. JL Browning, Nick LaSala, and Mighty RX on stats. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Tyree back to pass, throws deep over the middle, and it's intercepted again. Ben Stone has 2 straight interceptions on 2 straight Sparrows drives, and that will for sure bring the end to this football game. Nice job by the rookie here in this 4th quarter.
All in a day's work for the rookie Ben Stone. Fantastic way to cap this game for the young defender. Has himself a highlight reel play from earlier in the game. He's going to enjoy a long career here in the SFL. Great young talent.
You can catch the SFL live every July and October and every January through April over the weekends and Monday nights on 11 Sports for the fans at 11 and the SFL's YouTube and Twitch channels. Follow at Simulationfl on Twitter to always get the most up-to-date broadcast dates, times, and matchups so you don't miss a moment of the action. That's all our social medias actually are at Simulationfl. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and more. And if you want more SFL content, our Discord community has podcasts, articles, and highlights about the league, its teams, and players. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Simulationfl and visit our website at simulationfl.net for more news, features, and information. Penalty flag flies on the Williams run. That'll stop the clock temporarily with 1:46 left. Toros need to get one first down to ice it.
Neutral zone infraction, number 96, defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
Coaches game plan all week. They put pencil to paper, X's and O's. They sweat it out. They're in the lab. They're hacking away. And you always think to yourself, I wonder what would happen if everything happens right for us, could we do this? Could we do that? I just wonder if the Toros play on the field, their game plan tonight, and this result is exactly what the coaches had in mind this week heading into this game.
I mean, if coaches get their way, you do this every week, right? It's the handoff Williams, first down. And that's Bailey Rentley on the field again for the Toros, just to soothe this one out. And we got to compliment Luis Gonzalez and Stephen Hacker, the coaching staff and co-owners of this Toros team. Jason Williams, the general manager. Robert Garrett Jr., vice president of player operations. And the entire front office staff of the Fort Worth Toros for an impressive game plan. And they got all the bounces to go their way tonight, which doesn't always happen in the SFL, but when it does, you get games like this. And the final kneel downs come in, and we will take you through to the end of it, just a minute 37 left. And the Toros will drain the final sands of time in this football game and win it 51-17. On a night where we had one shocking game that went to overtime, and Florida won in a shootout 44-41 over the Lone Star Glory. The other Texas team comes out and runs roughshod over the consensus number one team in the Simulation Football League, 51-17.
Quite a shocking result here from Fort Worth. Not if you're a Toro, of course. You knew this was going to happen tonight, right? Didn't you? Fantastic game. They really balled out tonight, the Toros did. And for the Sparrows, we wondered if they could be stopped. Is anyone going to be able to stop Colin Hart in the running game? And yeah, the ball bounced the Toros' way tonight on several occasions. But perhaps we saw the beginning of a game plan, perhaps, that other opponents can begin to take into account when they face Sioux Falls going this week. Can they have success down the road throwing the ball? Because they might have to in this long SFL season.
Well, it'll have to be back to the drawing board for the Sioux Falls Sparrows. But for the Fort Worth Toros, everything went right tonight. They got the turnovers, they got the bounces, they got the touchdowns. It's shock and awe. It's Simulation Football League on Monday night as the Fort Worth Toros beat the Sioux Falls Sparrows 51-17. And let's roll with some analysis and highlights from Benji Matson.
From the beginning, this one went exactly the way we all thought it would, right? Sioux Falls down early, playing behind schedule to a young Toros team that just had the night of their lives here in Fort Worth. Everything going right for the Toros tonight, and they take down the consensus number one team in the SFL. Fantastic night to be a Toro. Paced by Robert Garrett Jr., over 125 yards receiving on just 9 receptions. Stephen Hacker had a pair of touchdowns. But I wonder if the player of the game, Mr. Williams himself, Jason Williams, could it be anyone else? 26 carries, 209 yards, a pair of touchdowns, and 7 additional receptions tonight. He's my player of the game. And I think what we saw here tonight's performance, the Toros can really build on moving forward. They just took down the number one team in the SFL at home. The Toros are going to be a formidable team for the rest of this season. And any team that comes into Fort Worth is going to need to take a look at this game and understand they cannot take the Toros lightly. And for the Sparrows, they're a fantastic team. Tonight wasn't their night. The ball didn't bounce their way, but I don't think they need to hang their heads. And I don't think they will hang their heads at all. They have all the pieces in place here for a championship run. Tonight just wasn't their night, and sometimes that happens in the SFL. But they're a powerful team, and they're going to be in this thing right in the hunt as we head down to the wire, heading towards the second half of this season. Great night tonight for the Fort Worth Toros. There's not much else to say. Their stars led the way. Fantastic game. to be a part of tonight. Thanks for letting me call it with you, Michael.
The most telling stat tonight, I think, was 62 yards rushing combined for a Sioux Falls Sparrows team that averaged over 200 coming into the night. They led the league by a mile in rushing yards per game, and I think that may come down a bit after this one as the Toros defense didn't pitch a shutout, but put on a clinic tonight, holding them to their lowest point total of the season, 17, and lowest yards total as well. It's time for the player of the game, and I think Jason Williams is the favorite to be just that. I remember I threw out Robert Garrett Jr. as a potential name earlier, but the player of the game is Jason Williams. Officially comes in at 190 yards and 2 touchdowns to lead the Toros to victory tonight. For Kevin Irvine back at SFL headquarters, J.L. Browning, Nick LaSala, and Mighty RX on stats, and for Benji Matson, who joined me on commentary tonight, I've been Michael Travillo saying so long and see you next time in the Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas.